Welcome to Enough to Be Dangerous. I'm Paul, he's Mike, and today we're going to work on Mike's wife's minivan.
All right, we are replacing a thermostat today. The van threw a code P0128, which shows it's a thermostat. Thermostat, whole housing, everything ready to go, and coolant. And we're just going to dive right in. We have no idea what we're doing and see what happens. All right. I'm going to start by taking off the decorative cover, and then we're going to remove the airbox cover here. Thermostat, I don't know if you can see it, is right down here. It's fairly easy to get to. And the reason we're doing this is my wife's van, the auto start will not work with the check engine light on. And it's been cold in the morning, and she lets me know about it. So we're going to go ahead and replace this so that she can use her auto start.
So it's kind of a pain, but you got to remove a whole bunch of stuff to get to the part you actually want to work on. Thank you, engineers, for thinking of us.
So it looks like we're going to remove the 13 mil nut on the power steering reservoir. We already moved the air filter box or lid, and I think that's enough to get to it. So we're going to try to do it without removing anything else here. The bolts on the thermostat are 10 millimeter. There's 2 of them. And we are going to lose a little bit of coolant when we take this off. We got a pan underneath to go ahead and catch that. And then when we're done, we just have to top it off. It's not going to lose a whole bunch.
Okay, so we're going to pull the entire air box if we can figure it out. It's going to give us a little more space. Again, we have no idea what we're doing or what we're talking about. I think the whole point of our channel is to get our hands dirty and just figure it out as we go.
All right.
There you have it. And bring you along for the ride.
Airbox out. So that was pretty
so much room for activities.
Oh man. Yeah, that definitely opened up a lot more room here. Just one more 10 millimeter bolt to get out of here.
So on these models at least, and I'm sure there's others, if you're changing the thermostat, this housing here is plastic, and with all the heat cycles getting hot, getting cold, getting hot, getting cold, that plastic becomes real brittle. So it's very likely we're going to break this thing. So we bought the new one with the plastic housing. You can get it without, but it seems kind of silly. I don't think it's a whole lot more money to just replace the whole thing. And honestly, like, maybe we don't break it, but if we didn't buy the new one with the plastic housing, of course we would break it. Murphy's Law.
There we go. All right, and there's the offender. And is the old gasket. Okay, we gotta find.
Oh,
the old gasket is down
it's
in
still
here.
Attached somewhere.
There we go. There's the old gasket. Make sure that you get that removed. And
so we'll take a rag and we'll wipe down that mating surface. Anything that's got a seal, you want to make sure it's nice and clean before you put a new one on there. Ask me how I know.
Oh, so you can see a shiny rub mark right here. I believe that means it's been getting stuck, and that is the culprit. So hopefully we get this changed out and all goes well. You'll notice on these thermostats, this has a bleeder valve, and we'll go over that here in a second. Once you install it, you need to get the air out of the system. So I guess it's time to get her back on here. And this is my first time working on this van, so honestly, as far as a thermostat goes, it's not too terribly difficult.
She's no small block though.
Yeah, this isn't a small block Chevy where it's on top. I think we've
Two
all
bolts.
we've all replaced a couple of those, and so this is just a little different, but not terribly difficult. So make sure your gasket's on there. Holes all seem to line up. Just stick some bolts in here and tighten her up. I believe I did look up the specs. We're gonna torque is 9 foot-pounds, I believe. We're gonna go ahead and do our best to guess what 9 foot-pounds looks like here.
So again, we honestly have no idea what we're doing. Of course, I think we both changed plenty of thermostats, but we are not experts. I assure you, we're not doing this for money. This is for Mike's wife's car. This is not like a customer's car or anything. We're just doing it for fun and bringing you along for the ride. I've had people ask me before, like, how do you know how to do this stuff? You know, working on cars or fixing stuff. And I just did it and figured it out as I went. I get my hands dirty and take stuff apart and put it back together and hope that it works again. And yeah, some people learn by reading books, and that doesn't work for me. I need to see how something ticks, what it's actually made of. And that's pretty much how we learned how to do everything. So I guess I would encourage anybody who is not sure how to do something to just get your hands dirty and figure it out as you go.
We almost got her back on here. She's kind of fighting a little bit. I wouldn't expect anything less though. Almost to the point where we can bleed this thing. So I've never worked on a car where you had to bleed the air out of the system, but
7, 8, and 9.
We're gonna go. How many Ooga Doogas is 9 foot-pounds? We're not quite sure.
About 3/4.
I'm gonna need to
of one.
look at the conversion chart here. I have the wrong size extension on here, but
Perfect.
just the wrong amount. All right. Okay, so I think next step is to we're gonna throw some more coolant in here. Now we weren't sure what coolant was in the vehicle, so I heard that there was coolant that mixed with any coolant, which we looked up what the coolant was for this van. So we got a coolant that mixes with anything basically. We're just doing a top off. It doesn't take a lot. So we're gonna throw some in here. Then we're gonna go down here to the bleeder valve and right down in here. We're gonna release that. Fluid should come out, and then we're gonna start it and add a little more. All right, so right down here, we got our bleeder valve. We're just gonna crack that open until fluid starts coming out. And again, we have a pan underneath to catch anything here.
I heard the air.
So as you can see,
Just look close. There's some orange dripping out of there. I don't know if we can see it on here, but yep, there it goes. I actually heard the air.
We can open her up a little more here. Make sure we get a good amount of fluid coming out, and
as you go.
Top it off as we go here. Oh yeah, she's flowing pretty good. So we're full at the top here. Bubbles are coming out, which means we're forcing air out here.
Perfect.
And gosh, I can't imagine that's not.
That's probably good. I heard the air coming out. It's got fluid coming out.
So we're gonna tighten this up. We're gonna. Shoot. Okay. That's a good
The cracking noise lets you know that you've gone far enough.
Right. So I'm gonna dry this off the best I can so that when we run it, we can see if any fluid is coming out. Yeah. So fluid is still coming out.
Still coming out. That's neat. So we got some issues here. The coolant is still coming out.
I think it's the.
We'll pull the whole thing. I mean, we've got plenty of coolant.
I'm gonna pull the whole thing out here, and I'm gonna block it with my finger and try to look at what is happening here.
I get it. Yeah, take a look at it.
Okay. So
I've got O-rings if we need them.
everything looks.
So I wonder if it's the housing. Of course, we won't know.
No, take your finger off for a second.
It
Might have just been. Okay, put it back on. Okay. I wonder if just the O-ring was
Not seating.
not seating. Nothing looks. We double check one more time here. Nothing looks. Oh, what do we got here?
Did it break the head? It's like hollow plastic.
No, I don't think that's actually.
Right.
Oh no. Oh. Oh, yep. So the screw is actually broken.
Great. Super duper.
So
Can we Frankenstein
So I'm gonna pull the one off
take the old one? I'll hold this.
Okay. So luckily it was that, not the housing. We're gonna try to.
So I think clearly over torque is bad.
I'll probably use this screw and put the new O-ring
Swap
on.
the O-ring. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that O-ring is flat. So don't move, Paul. Don't let my fluid out.
I got it. We're not going anywhere.
Now we're back here. We got an uncracked
For now.
plastic screw, and I got the new O-ring. And this one's not flat like the other one.
Let's go snug.
We're just gonna go snug, not as snug as I went before, apparently. And all right, let's ready for the geyser here. Oh, that wasn't bad, except for it's cross-threaded. It looks like it's going in straight, but it can't go anymore by finger. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I think we fixed her.
There you go.
Pretty confident that all the air is out now. That we let her
I would say so.
sit there and run for a little bit. Yeah, she took a little bit more. But not much.
No, not much at all.
I mean, we're still, even after that second round, we still used less than half a gallon. So we did not really lose a whole lot of coolant. And the belts aren't squeaking, so that's a plus.
Yet.
We're going to let it run here for a little bit, and then we'll put everything back together.
All right, we're going to start putting this thing back together. So now, your air filter, you're supposed to replace these every 7 to 10 days, I'm pretty sure. We're just going to knock the crud out of it and reuse it for now.
Rebuilt.
That should be good enough.
Yep.
What's the worst that could happen? So it's going to go back in just the same way it came out. It's really simple, kind of self-explanatory. It's got a little pocket sits down. I think it's backwards.
Yep.
Yeah, you probably put it in the right way. That's the easiest way.
Yep, that's the easiest way to do it. So, guessing that goes in there. Oh, probably hook this up first.
That's the thought. Look at me pretending like I'm going to help in some way.
You know, air filters are easy.
I think it's got a, is it?
Yeah, it goes into like some.
How do you?
I think.
Design. What is even happening here? I mean, honestly.
I feel like that's.
Is that in?
Yeah, I think so.
I give it the old shake test. That ain't going nowhere.
But this is kind of jacked up here. Okay.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. Okay.
Give some style.
Are we so bent?
Well, once you put the lid on, it should be fine.
I know, but what if the lid? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and.
Okay.
So this received into the washer fluid reservoir, so that's all lined up good. This should go in here. Again, that was a 13 mil nut. Hose connects back on there. That was about all they got disconnected. Overall, this was scale to 1 to 10. This was probably like a 1. This is about as
It's about as simple as it
about as
gets.
simple as it gets, and that's why we're doing this, just to show you guys that anybody can do this. That pretty much wraps up P010128 or whatever thermostat code for a 2012 Chrysler. Everything's assembled and hopefully ready to go.
All right, so we finished. Everything's put back together. We got the little bit of leaking cleaned up, everything tightened up, but not too tight. The point of this video was not to show you how to change the thermostat. Anybody can change the thermostat. The point was to show you that it's a very approachable project. Anybody can do this. You just get in there and get your hands dirty, take it apart, figure out how it goes back together, and just see what happens. And that's pretty much our approach to any project, is just got our hands dirty and get it done.
And that's going to be what our videos are. We're just going to take you along with us when we do projects around our house, on our vehicles.
And mostly for our wives.
Mostly
that's
for our
That's where
wives.
the projects come from.
They have the lists, we have the capabilities, and that's where we're at.
So join us next time when we make another mess and try to find our way out of it. Thanks for joining us.